Hi, guys. Welcome back to Sub 2 Shanna. This is The Way, episode 46. Today, I have Ben Bressington on the show. Ben is the CEO of Automate Boring. They focus on robotic process automation, intelligent process automation, and bespoke software development. Hi, Ben.
Hey,
Welcome.
Shanna, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Living dangerously.
I love your accent.
Thank you. I was kind of born with it.
Yeah. How is it down under?
Well, I'm actually in Fayetteville, Arkansas, but the
Oh,
down under is a lot of fun.
oh, okay. So that's where you're from, but you're in Arkansas now?
Yeah, so I just set up base in Arkansas, and it's a beautiful part of the country, Northwest Arkansas. I never thought it was so nice. So yeah, quite excited.
Yeah. All right. So let's start with who is Benjamin Bressington? Tell us who you are and what led you on the path to create the company Automate Boring.
Well, that's who I am is a complicated mess. I'm sure it's always evolving, but I got trained in human behavior, so criminology is what I went to school for, and ended up with a law and a psychology degree. So that's kind of like just how that bag of tricks rolled out. And then, but I was always fascinated with e-commerce and online business. And I literally started trading. I'd go to Hong Kong when I was like 18 years old. I'd go to an expo, I'd buy products online, and I'd start to sell them online. I had 30 days to work out how to sell this stuff. And this is back in um, uh, early 2000s. And that was a fun adventure, which I've always been doing e-commerce. But what I didn't realize is I'd been applying the everything I learned about criminology, human profiling, to business. And the one of the niches I fell into was being the bridge for a business owner and a tech team, because the business owner runs the operation, runs the business, kind of understands at a 30,000 foot level, but doesn't know how to execute at a technical level. All right. So I was already that person bridging that gap between the tech people understanding what they were doing, the problems they were having, and the frustrations, and then helping to scale those businesses. It's just Automate Boring is really an evolution of 20 years of that work, and now a quest to literally streamline a business so you can be more effective in 4 hours than you are in 80 hours. Is the goal. So it's like, okay, and with what we do now, we literally design entire businesses around what do we automate and how do we automate it, and then how do we have people run the robots, because that makes more effective people. And that's the type of the systems we're building out now for people, and we're helping them embrace AI, because everyone's been talking about AI, right? But most people are like, how the hell do I implement it? I'm like, I tried that chat GPT thing and it sucked, right? Or it didn't give me what I wanted it to do. It wasn't me. I'm like, that makes sense, because how would it know who the hell you are, right? But
Right.
the thing is now we show them how to embrace it in the tasks they do on a daily basis to become more efficient, more effective, more profitable. And that's what we do.
Right. It's a tool for sure.
Yeah.
AI is the tool. Okay. Let's talk about these three things one by one. Tell us about the robotic process automation.
Yeah, so robotic process automation is what is now called AI automation, right? It's how companies have been automating anything you do at a computer. So this process allows you to move the mouse. So if you do something at a computer, online, offline, using remote software, logging into remote systems, you can literally replicate that. And you have been able to replicate that for the last 15 years, right? So um, the problem has been that it's been super expensive. Like, it costs $250,000 to get some of these software licenses to get the software to be able to build these tools. So for a lot of small, medium-sized companies, that wasn't even the question, because a $250,000 software license, plus then the people to run it, and then looking at a project which could be maybe 6 to 12 months, most companies are like, we'll just keep paying people. So that's what robotic process automation is. Literally the process of automating anything you do at a computer. And that's what that part of it is. And then when we roll into what IPA is, it's just intelligent process. So that's now taking what was designed work of automation and now applying AI logic, because we can now have AI logic things. It can analyze an image and determine the colors. It can determine the people. It can determine the things, right? It can extract a property address from an image you send it to, then look up another system to find the owner of that, and then we can look up another system to enrich that with their information to then load that into your CRM. Like, that's a workflow, and that would be intelligent automation. A lot of people who maybe small to medium sized businesses like yourself may use Make or Zapier or any of these myriad of tools
Mm.
that are out there selling themselves as automation, but they're extremely, extremely limited because it's only automates what it allows you to automate. So the publisher of the apps to those marketplaces may have only put one or two features in, and you're like, yeah, but I want the rest of the data in my CRM, or I want to take a photo from my phone, have it extract the data, load it into my CRM, and then use that to send an email to somebody. Like, that's a whole
Mhm.
different process. And this is what they call that intelligent process automation. So what we're starting to see is, even with all this open AI billion-dollar investment type stuff, we're starting to see the creation of AI agents. So ChatGPT, to keep it simple, is going to transform into what they call an AI agent or an agent. And that's going to allow you to type something into ChatGPT or speak to it. And instead of it just going and writing an article, it can now go research latest trends on the internet and then write you 5 social media posts, and then maybe create you the banner images you need to promote that, if that makes sense.
Mm. Okay. And the bespoke software development?
That's just custom software development. So we choose a handful of clients each year to just do large and unique things for them.
Mhm.
This year we built an AI sales coach that does sales coach role playing. So it role plays conversations and gives you real time feedback. We built some automations directly leveraging systems in the IRS. And that allowed us to help a company scale from pretty much nothing to in excess of $100 million in tax credits generated in less than 6 months. So that was a very successful initiative. It took a lot of work, and that's why it's bespoke. This is not stuff off the shelf. You weren't walking into Walmart to get these solutions. There was a lot of logic and a lot of hair pulling to make that happen.
Right. A lot of work went into it. Okay. I saw on your website you have a HD clone for videos.
Yeah. So yeah, that allows us to actually take a 2-minute video of a person, and it can actually create a clone of them. So it's very similar to HeyGen and those other tools. And it allows you to send custom videos that are personalized in bulk. So you write the script or the template, and then it just merges in variables. So it can say your name, it could say your address. A lot of real estate people or property developers use it in the way of lead generation. So what they
Mhm.
do is they just get a list of leads, and they have their name, they have the address, they have all that data. And in the video, it'll have your lips, and it'll just change how you say it. So it'll go, hey Ben, hey Sally, hey Frank, I see you're at 123 Main Street. I see you're at 123 Zebra Lane. I saw on Zillow it's got an estimate of $22,000. Would you be interested in receiving an offer if it was around that? Whatever it is, right? And then you can send that out. You can text it to people. You can send it out via email, and it's very successful. So it's just personalization at scale.
Do you have like integrations with like certain video platforms that do go with your email? Like I
Yeah,
forgot
so
the
we
name.
provide the service to connect to different email systems, and you can pretty much automate it then. So it just uploads a list, it creates custom landing pages for you, and then allows people to click on those products and make it happen.
Wow. So, do you have like websites? Do you have like website creations or
We started in the world of website creation. That's where I started way back in the early 2000s. But yeah, I no longer build websites. I do website type stuff for people. Everything we do is all focused around process automation. So it's customizing that as part of our video suite, or what we call auto vid. It actually creates a landing page for every video. So it's personalized with your video, your text, but that's more dynamic content. But we don't go and do website
Mhm.
design because that's a different skill set in itself. And I'm more focused on helping people scale the traffic to their websites. So we
Gotcha.
just launched, we just
Can you
launched a whole
embed
bunch of
them?
automation. Yeah, yeah,
And you can embed them
yeah,
into your websites. Gotcha. Wow. Okay. And the landing pages, that's good too.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
yeah. So are you looking for people to join your team, or are you looking for business partners to JV with?
Yeah,
Joint
we're always looking for business partners to JB with and create new opportunities. So one of we've got two main offerings that we roll out. So we're about to roll out our new what we call Crew Forge, which is our AI tool to build AI assistants, which is really exciting. And then we've got a company that we're rapidly scaling, which is called Automated Tax Credits, and that helps anyone who's owes money to the IRS. So literally, instead of having to go and pay a crazy firm lots of money to help resolve a tax issue and have it take months and months and months, we've literally automated that process. So you can talk to our AI, it'll generate your documents for you and send them off. And it helps a lot of people we work with are mortgage professionals, because it's one of the biggest things that kills a deal is that person they owe money to the IRS, which means then they can't get financing. They're financing at the last
Mm.
hour when they're doing the review. They have that money, or other deals get killed because there's a tax lien. But what most people don't realize is that if you fill in the right PDFs, the right documents for the IRS, you can have that tax lien released and replaced. So then the mortgage can become first priority. The IRS does not have to be first priority on a mortgage, and most people aren't aware of this stuff.
Mm.
So we've built these tools that allow you to pretty much get this stuff handled yourself for a fraction of the price.
Wow. Love that. Because we're always talking about first position lien, second position. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
I didn't
and
know
you'll
you could
see,
do that one.
you'll come across a property. First position is IRS because this person owes a federal debt to the IRS. It could be 7 years old, so it's just like, all right, like, so they think the deal's killed, but that's not the case at all. Not the case at all. The IRS wants that
Mm.
person to refinance or wants that person to get some money because there's a higher chance of them being able to settle that debt. And in this whole process of assisting with the lien, you can also help them remove interest and penalties from their tax bill. So if they owe $80,000 in back taxes, you might be able to get it settled for a few $100s, which then means if you're trying to do a sub two transaction, you now have more power that you can bring to the table because these people are in financial hardship. And one of the things that is a noose around their neck, I can promise you, is the threat of this IRS issue.
Oh, you're speaking our language now. Totally. Ah.
Well and truly aware of the sub two arena. So yeah, totally get it.
Love it. Ben, you've done your homework as well. Okay. So, what are your future plans for Automate Boring?
My future plans is that the entire company runs with me not being involved. And my goal is just to scale it to $100 million a year in recurring revenue business. And that it's pretty much fully automated. And I run it from my RV that I roll around the country in and just enjoy life. So it's designed, we've redesigned the entire company on how it runs, how it operates, how we can work 24 hours a day, but have a team of less than 10 people. Like, you don't need a huge team to be working
Mhm.
24 hours a day. We do a lot of stuff. We're capitalizing in small niches. So our tax offer, it's now available in 99 languages. And that's all because we use AI. So our goal is literally, even on our tax business, is to impact over 1 million people a year. And that's not that many people when you consider 20 million people owe the IRS money. And about 19 million of them owe less than less than $50,000. Some of them owe less than $20,000. So most tax companies are just like, you can't afford our $25,000 fee to pay for a $10,000 tax debt. So for a lot of people, they get laughed at. So we know that just making a big difference into a lot of people's life every year.
Yeah, you're getting ready to do some immediate upgrades too, right? You're like rocking
Yeah.
and rolling there.
Yeah, so we just spent the last few months and we've completely rebuilt our operational infrastructure. And we built a tool that allows you to design and launch custom AIs with no code. So I just launched this tool just the other day where I said, what I want to do is I want to be able to take my blog posts that our AI is writing, right?
Mhm.
And I want the AI to summarize them and then convert them into the conversational audio where it sounds like a podcast where people are talking about it, right? And then
Mm.
share it back onto that webpage. Because then what that does is it increases the time on site. Time on site is an SEO value, right? But the benefit then is then I have an audio file I can share on social media. I can even publish it to these automated podcasts that we're rolling out. And then we're going to turn it into video. So then you've got these video clips that you post on social media of conversations that are happening. And we're doing it in a way that like it just continues to drive traffic to your website, has a great hang time value. And this is just one of the systems. So you can pretty much tell our AI anything you want it to do. Research leads, enrich data, right? We just built one for someone who literally replaces their data analyst team. So it takes all their sale data, analyze it, applies weather patterns to it because they're product vendors for Walmart and stuff like that, and literally
Mm.
analyzes what's happening and what are the opportunities in these product sales. And we built out a 20-person AI analyst team. And now these reports happen within seconds. So now they're actually getting insights on what's happening with all my product sales around the country. Like you could do this for property sales, analyzing property trends in multiple cities, right? Uh, you can't do that just yourself because that just takes hours and hours. And this is why there's
Yes.
these experts who I've been in the Dallas metro market for 10 years because they've literally walked every street and but they know Dallas metro. They don't know Dallas.
Right.
And this is a whole other thing, if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. Yes. What is the majority main type of clients that you have? Or can this really be applied to anything? Like,
It can be applied to anything, but the main thing we help is businesses who have already got processes in place. Our clients we like to work with have been in business for a few years because you now know the pain of what's the thing you have to do every day to get the bills
mm,
paid. So we help a lot of people with invoicing, financial processing, reporting, quality control, analysis. Or if you've got a team where you're outsourcing to in the Philippines, in China, in Asia, or wherever it is, right? Or in India, we usually can replace 100% of what that team does through automation. So now it can free up resources and be more efficient, reduce errors, things like that.
so it can free up your whole admin kind of staff, right?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So it helps to make your admin staff more effective because what's happened is technology wasn't available for you to build out these automations. So what you did is you automated through people. You Henry Forded this bad boy, right? And the thing is most people don't think of it like that way. But now, if the computer could do 90% or even 50% of what your admin staff were doing and do it in a way that it was more efficient, more consistent, more reliable, because time and time again, I hear that, oh, yeah, I did have the admin person doing this, but they stopped because they had 20 other tasks to do and they have a life and they don't work 24 hours a day. So they may only run the special report we need run once a month or once a quarter when we would love to have it weekly. We'd really love to have it daily. But it takes 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and it becomes a low priority, even though it's important. So augmenting a lot of the admin team, operations teams is what we usually specialize in. And we usually work with people who have been doing these tasks for an extended period of time 3, 5, 7 years because you know that process backwards. You do it in your sleep. And when we work with people, we usually go, what's the task that's frustrating you, annoys you, you hate doing, and it becomes a thing you do when the kids go to sleep, right? Because you're just like, I'll just sit there, I'll just grind it out. I'm like, let's automate that thing because that has a whole bunch of emotional resistance, physical resistance, but usually it's high value, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Um, and like a simple example is we had a company that had they've got 12 people in their accounts department, and one of the biggest problems for them was on their invoices there was always typos, and there was 20 different locations. So typos could happen, the wrong project number. So when they get merged into the new system, they couldn't find the project record, and then you're hunting for where the hell is this 10 grand coming from, this 50 grand coming in or going, and it could just these typos would create problems, right? If the client's name had a typo in it, it just makes you look like an idiot, right? So the thing is we build an automation that literally scans their invoices and fixes these typos. It was literally one thing, but it solved a huge problem for them.
I'm wondering if this type of program or this type of AI software would be able to eventually do title company work.
100%. Yeah. So the title company work is just a process. It's paperwork following, paperwork logistics. A lot of the
Looking up
automations
title
that we built
reports.
Yeah, so a lot of the automation we had to build with the IRS was literally getting you to fill in a form and sign a form, which was requesting your tax return transcripts. Right, we'd then have to submit
Mhm.
that to the IRS. That give us your transcripts within 72 hours or whatever it was, and then our AI would analyze every single one of the transcripts to find out what tax credits you did or didn't apply for, and therefore what you qualify for, and then would fill in the new PDF document to submit it to the IRS so you could claim these tax credits. And that's what we automate. So that's multiple steps, multiple things. Title company work works very the same.
Yeah.
Is there an easement? Is there a lien? Is this the correct property address? Who are the owners? It just walks through. It's a checklist. And yeah, all of that type of stuff can be automated. It doesn't have to be in one system, but there's no way you'll automate this stuff just using Zapier or one of those other
Right.
browser-based systems, because most businesses use some type of specialized software for operating. And that's when people think that's the bottleneck. I'm like, no, that's actually the easy thing, because yeah, we can build smart robots. But yeah, so the world is really going to change with now. You're going to see over the next few years the deployment of all of this cool AI that's been created, from vision to voice. One of the biggest requests we get from people is, can you automate answering my phone? My phone rings 24 hours a day.
Oh,
And
yeah.
my secretaries aren't always there. They can't always answer the phone. They miss calls. What happens when we get 10 calls in at one time because we did a promotion? Can't answer the phone all the time. We talk to a lot of restaurants. This is their biggest pet peeve, because I don't know if you've ever noticed. You'll walk into a restaurant, you'll have the hostess who's waiting to sit the people in the restaurant. They're usually
Mhm.
answering the phone, and the phone's just sitting there ringing, right? It's just ringing. And you
Right.
feel like, man, are you going to answer that damn thing? They're usually on the phone, like, oh, you want to make a reservation? Well, if you go to our website, are you on our website? Let me walk you through how to make the reservation. It's just like, honey, take the damn reservation. It's not that hard, right? But they're trying to guide people through to the website, or they're trying to place an order, or it's just like, oh my God. But 99% of their calls are this type of stuff. AI can now handle that. It can now make those bookings. It can make those reservations. It could record that call. It could transcribe that call. It could load it into the CRM, so then all of your data is already there, so they can follow up with you. It's going to be a massive customer service evolution over the next few years. That's for sure.
So, okay, wow, that's amazing. So far in the real estate investment industry, let's just go through those processes. This AI can help with lead generation. It can help with advertising, same thing, advertising, lead generation. It can help with the admin work once leads start coming in, including um, answering the phones, setting appointments. It can also help with can it help with paperwork, like putting contracts together and things like that?
That's what we do with the IRS. We literally have you fill in these
Mm,
smart forms that we've built, which then populate all of the contracts correctly. And then
right.
there's been Q&A, which is quality assurance check, to make sure there's no spelling, typos on the name matches the driver's license, all this type of stuff. There's these processes that exist, but most people don't even know about them. So you're like, it can't be done. But no,
Right.
because if we've got
And
a
then
mismatch on the IRS form, that means you don't get payment.
Right. And then it can do some of the title work. Of course, we usually hire title companies for transactions. And I'm assuming it can probably help with what about like remote closings, virtual closings, and things like that?
The whole world of
And then,
closings will evolve over the next few years, and it's going to become far more automated. Like if you look to companies like countries like Australia,
Mhm.
Australia has pretty much fully automated closings. They don't even show up in the rooms anymore because it just literally now it's all automated and electronic, and it's just literally a wire transfer that happens. So it
Mm.
certainly can happen. It did take them 4 years to fully facilitate it, and now there is no in-person closings. It's electronic closing.
How about property management?
Property management is people management and systems, right? You just don't
Right.
wake up in the morning and go, "Well, what the hell am I doing?" You wake up and go, "Shit, I've got
Yeah.
these 20 things to do today," right? So it's all just become the same part of that process. Like my girlfriend sits there when she goes to rent out a property, and she has 100 Facebook messages she's got to go through. She's got to clear out all the spam. She's got to qualify people. She's got to send them all these messages. I'm like, I can build you a bot that would literally like reply to everyone. They all ask the same damn questions:
I
what's the address, can I have a dog, can I water, like it's there's 20 questions they ask. And she's like,
Mhm.
all of this information is in the description. They never read the description. They never, like, they go, is there a
Right.
backyard? And there's photos of the backyard. Like, it's just like, you did
Right.
not even look at the image. Like, so if you can't look at the image or read the description, do I really want to rent to you? Like, seriously.
Right. Right. You could sell them some property on the moon because they
Exactly.
won't read it.
I got a great property for you. Yeah.
Right. So, what are your passions and hobbies outside of the business? What do you do to kind of unwind and not get too bogged down?
Yeah. So I love to travel and explore. So right now I travel around North America. I enjoy the lifestyle there. I'm a big mountain biker, so I love mountain biking, hiking, and I even go hiking with I got a pet cocker spaniel, Bailey, and he literally will sit in a
Oh,
backpack with me as I go riding around these mountains, and people think it's awesome. So he loves
so
it.
cool.
He's always he loves it when his ears are flapping higher above me. So yeah, yeah, just try to enjoy life. There's so much to explore. There's so much out there, and people
Yeah.
I can remember I used to be trapped in an office and thinking I had to work 80, 100 hours a week to be
Mhm.
successful, but that was such a fallacy that wasn't the case, right? And you don't realize how much of life you're actually sacrificing on. So yeah, so my joy is just getting out, exploring. It's one of the reasons why I have an RV. I literally go and set up in an area, and I go explore an area. I go taste the food, meet the people, have
Like
conversations.
an
Yeah,
RV or Sprinter van RV? You strike
RV,
me as a
RV. So
Sprinter van kinda guy.
I started in a Ford Transit that I custom built myself and tried
Oh,
to work it out, and then I'm like, okay, times are changing. So yeah, but yeah, now it's a little bit different. But now I got a different goal of making an old style RV really modern, which is kind of nice.
right. Yeah, it sure is. Um, do you have anything else that you'd like to tell our guests about?
So I was thinking about, okay, this chat GPT, this AI doesn't really apply to me or hasn't applied to me. I'd challenge them to say, what is it? What's one thing you want to automate? What's one thing that if you could have AI do for you would just make a little difference? I'm not talking about like writing custom software. I'm not talking about having you make $100,000 this weekend. What I'm talking about is like what could give you back 15 minutes of time.
Like, buy back
And
your
then think
time, like
about,
the book.
yeah, buy back your time. Think about these little ways that you can buy back your time. And this is why people don't even get virtual assistants. Like if you're sitting there and you haven't even gone and got a virtual assistant, if you want to automate something, go get a virtual assistant and start
Mhm.
outsourcing some tasks, because that'll teach you how to document what do I need done and what does success look like in this task, and then you could start to automate it. So a lot of people approach this AI stuff thinking it's just going to know their brain. this AI stuff has been trained on the world. So it knows a
Right.
lot of stuff about a lot of stuff. It doesn't know your world. So until you start to, because most people don't have training manuals, most people don't have videos on how to do tasks. Well, you know what? How do you want me to reply to these emails that come into your email inbox? Right?
Mm.
Start
Mhm.
there. And you'll be amazed at the freedom you can create, because if you have to be replying to emails and phone calls 24 hours a day, that's not freedom. That's not life. Like, I know you might think you
Right.
might miss a deal, but that's not building a business either.
So speaking of that, what's the process like and how long does it take to actually set up an AI in the way that you need it to do things?
It's getting shorter and shorter now. Now it's getting down to minutes. It started as
Ooh.
day or weeks, and now it's days and hours. And like, I can do some of these. Our goal is that these new deployments we're looking to do, we can have them deployed within 30 minutes. That could be doing
Wow.
amazing things. Like, yeah, there's a whole bunch of new opportunity, which is quite exciting.
So can folks like purchase like individual things that they need, or does it all come as a package, or both?
Yeah, so previously we've been as a custom subscription, because we become your automation partner for a lot of clients. Like, it's just like, okay, great, we're going to work with you we're just going to be your automation partner, so you don't have to worry about it. So you just go, what do you want to automate, and we work out how to get it done. And that's that freedom. So over time, you just automate more and more and more and more, and your business is becoming more profitable and efficient. So yeah, so we usually have that set up as a subscription service, and we're now rolling out our AI solution. So then you can pick and choose like a Chinese menu. Hey, I just want this cool
Ah.
podcast thing you spoke about, or we're about like that same podcast creation tool is also going to be used for content summarization. So you could have it listen to every new episode of Joe Rogan, summarize a 3-hour podcast, and literally give you a 2-minute conversation of what's going on. We have clients who go, hey, I need you to listen to every week all these reports, all these news articles, and just give me a 5-minute summary at the start of the week on what the hell happened last week, or a 60-second summary. I'm like, hey, that's what you want. No worries, we'll get it done. So the thing is now that saves them hours of time reading articles
Mm.
and journals and listening to stuff, because they feel that's what they need to do to survive. So yeah, we're setting up a very pick and choose. What do you need?
You have a
What do
à
you
la
want? What's the
carte.
problem you want to solve? Yeah.
Right. Oh, wow. So, guys, if you want to check out how to get a hold of Ben and check out all the things that he has available on his website, here are his socials and also the website. Um, so, I have two questions that I like to ask my guests at the end of every episode. And
Hmm.
the first one is, what does success look like to you?
Success looks like time, so I can do whatever the hell I want when I want, and I don't have to. If I don't want to work today, I don't want to. That freedom, that time freedom. That, if I just want to go riding, or I want to take my girlfriend out on the boat, we're going to go out on the boat. No pressure, no stress. I've got meetings. I've got someone else that can do it. So success looks like time freedom without the stress of where the hell is the dollar coming from.
Right. And on the website, they folks can get subscriptions for a la carte different types of things. And how long does a subscription usually last? Indefinitely, or I mean, because
It's
not only are
usually
people's businesses evolving, but also AI is evolving at the same time. So I would imagine there's like always like lots of new features and things coming out that you're on top of and are able to do for clients, correct?
100%. So everything we do is usually 30-day subscription based. Everything's evolving, everything's changing. Some people want a short term, some people want a long term. That's all okay. It is all okay.
Right, but probably once they start having an AI taking care of certain things for them, it's really hard to let it go. I feel like
100%. Yeah, like as soon as we take over the boring stuff, you don't want to kind of take up that boring stuff again.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and the second question is, if you had one piece of profound advice that you could leave with the listeners today to help them in either their personal or business life or even both, what would that be?
Do it scared. I get you might be scared to do it. I get you may be scared that something's going to go bad. Just do it scared anyway, and you'll be amazed what happens. So the best things I've always done are on the other side of being scared.
Yes. Yes. Take that initial leap. Everything you want is on the other side of the thing you're avoiding. We hear this from our leader a lot. Everything you want is on the other side of the thing that you're avoiding to do. Kind of same thing.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I love that. So, do you have anything else you'd like to tell our guests?
If they've got questions, we do provide a free consultation to anyone who wants it to go, hey, what the hell would I automate, or how would I automate this? So that's something they can set up through, you can just reach out to help@automateboring.net and just go, hey, I just want one of those. I want to find out what I could automate. There's no pressure. It's just like, hey, we just literally brainstorm with you on what's the problem you got. What are you trying to automate? And we'll show you how to do it yourself. We can give you recommend tools to you. And we may even make ourselves available to be able to support you with it, but we like to give back to the community. And that's, so if they want that, if they want to talk to somebody who's helped company scale, actually lives and breathes this automation stuff, but also understands business, yeah, you can just reach out to help@automateboring.net, and we can help you work out what you could do.
Yes, I love that. I just might be reaching out to you. Thank you so much. And guys, everything you need are in the show notes below. And I want to thank you so much for coming on the show.
Hey, my pleasure. Thanks for having us.
Yes. All right. Hang back afterwards and we'll have a little chat before we part ways. And we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.